Hello and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Atira binti Ramli from D82A. My registration number is 02D8020F1019.
Hello and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Kasrina binti Muhammad Alawi. My registration number is 02D8020F1033. We are from Group 3, want to present about business cycle and unemployment.
In the business cycle, there are 3 points about the business cycle, which is define business cycle, explain the phases of the business cycle, and describe the phases of business cycle.
Secondly, interpret of unemployment in economy. Firstly, defines of unemployment. Secondly, explain the types of unemployment, and lastly, describe the impact of unemployment.
The definition of business cycle. A business cycle are also known as a trade cycle. It is an important element of economics. A business cycle refers to the regular fluctuations in economic activity in an economy as a whole. A business cycle also refers to a wave-like fluctuation in aggregate economic activity, particularly with regard to national income, employment, and output. According to Keynes' definition, a business cycle is composed of periods of good trade with rising prices and low unemployment percentages, followed by periods of bad trade with falling prices and high unemployment percentages.
Next, a phases of a business cycle. What is that? The phases of a business cycle are a typical or standard business cycle goes through 4 different phases or states. 4 phases of a business cycle are a peak, recession, trough, and recovery. The graph is shown about a hypothetical business cycle. It shows the expansion and contraction periods. Expansion is the period in a business cycle where it moves from a trough to a peak, where output and employment increase. Contraction is the period in a business cycle where it moves from a peak to a trough, during which output and employment decline.
Don't understand about the phases of a business cycle? So, I am going to describe about the phases of a business cycle. There are 4 phases of business cycle, which is peak or boom, recession, trough, and recovery. For peak or boom, the economy is at full employment where all available resources are employed. The economy will experience a high level of output and trade, increasing effective demand and higher employment levels and income. The peak period is also known as the prosperity period. It will come to an end when the forces favoring expansion slow down. For recession will take place after the period of prosperity ends. This phase is characterized by 4 characteristics, which is a decrease in the volume of output, trade, and transactions, an increase in the level of unemployment, a reduction in aggregate income in terms of wage and profit, and lastly, a decline in consumption, expenditure, and investment level.
Then, the third phase is trough. The recession ends when the real GDP stops falling. The minimum point is called a trough. The trough will last until there is an increase in real GDP. During this phase, the overall level of economic activity will drop to the lowest level. Unemployment rates during this phase will be higher and create many problems. Thus, it is a period of great suffering and hardship to society and the worst phase of a business cycle. And lastly, the fourth phase is recovery. The trough is followed by a recovery. Recovery is a period of revival leading to an upturn of the economy level of output and employment expense toward full employment during these phases. The recovery period is initiated by government expenditure, change in product technique, new innovation and exploitation of new resources of energy.
The definition of unemployment. Unemployment is defined as labor force participants being available and willing to work but unable to find jobs. Therefore, the unemployment rate is a percentage of the labor force that is unemployed and is actively seeking employment. The labor force participation rate is defined as the fraction of the labor force to the total working hour group population, which is expressed as a percentage. Labor force participation rate are equal to labor force per working age population from 15 to 64 years old. The unemployment rate does not measure underemployment. Underemployment is a term used to describe those who take on part-time jobs below their capacity but are seeking full-time employment. Unemployment rate in percents are equal to number of unemployed per labor force multiplied to 100%.
Next, types of unemployment. There are 4 types of unemployment that are frictional, cyclical, structural, and seasonal unemployment. First, frictional unemployment is occurring when the people are in the between jobs or are entering or re-entering the labor force. Some people voluntarily quit their job to look for other suitable employment. Example, better position and higher wages. Second, cyclical unemployment is occurring when there is a lack of job, resulting from a downswing in a business cycle or a recession. When the economy encounters a downswing, goes into recession, the real GDP falls. The demand for goods and services decreases. Companies close down and workers are laid off. Third, structural unemployment is arising due to the structural change in the economy of a country. This means a worker lost his or her job because that job is no longer a part of the structure of the economy. Technological unemployment is a type of unemployment which is caused by change in the technique of production. And lastly is seasonal unemployment. Seasonal unemployment arises due to a seasonal variation in the activity of particular industries. This may be caused by climatic changes, changes in fashion trends, or the inherent nature of the industry themselves. In this type of unemployment, the labor force is employed at times and unemployed at other times.
Next, describe the impact or effect of unemployment. There are 2 effects of unemployment, which is effects on individuals and society and also effects on economy. For effects on individuals and society, unemployment is much more than an economic problem. It is a social problem as well. There are 3 problems, which is loss of income and self-respect, loss of job skills, and also social and political problem. Loss of income and self-respect. For example, a worker who is unemployed for a long time may face financial problems and consequently lose his or her self-respect and the respect of immediate family and friends. This leads to frustration, causing him or her to turn to alcohol or drugs, or resort to a life of crime. For loss of job skills, unemployed workers may lose their job skills due to lack of applications. Retaining and educating them may prove expensive. Lastly, it is about social and political problems. In some extreme cases, unemployed workers may join radical groups and engage in troublesome social and political activities. The crime rate would be high if unemployment is high. Effects on the economy. High unemployment rates will affect the economy. The cost of unemployed is measured as the goods and services which society could have produced but did not. The Gnp gap is one of the ways to measure the cost of unemployment. The Gnp gap is the difference between the potential Gnp and actual Gnp. Potential Gnp is determined by the level of output with full employment, whereas actual Gnp is the current level of output. The higher the unemployment rate, the greater the Gnp gap. Unemployment incurs the loss of government revenue obtained through personal taxes. Certain countries provide unemployment benefits which form part of government expenditure. This could reduce development activities of the economy. Slow economic growth and low output might lead to a depression. That's all from our group, Atira
and Kasrina. Thank you for listening. Bye!